What's up, Knights? Alright, so today we are going to be talking about the inputs and outputs of your life, aka reprogramming and brainwashing yourself to becoming the person that you want to become. So let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is how in your life you are mostly controlled by your subconscious. And you don't realize this. A lot of what you do, say, and act is based off how your subconscious is programmed. Now, how is your subconscious programmed? It is programmed by what happens to you in life and what happens around you, what you intake. What you intake through your eyes, through your ears, what you hear, see, what you do, it all programs your subconscious, and that subconscious then directs you through life. You know, a lot of people out there just blindly walking through life, but really they're walking down a path that was chosen by what they allowed to program them. So let's deep dive into this for a second. Say you take a random person, just a random regular Joe, average, no music taste, no TV taste, nothing. You sit them in a room and you let them listen to nothing but gangster rap and watch a bunch of like movies about gangsters and stuff like this, and a bunch of different just more hood movies and quotations on hood movies, you know, like they're not really hood movies. It's movies that get called hood movies. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I love those movies when I was a kid. I still watch them time to time. The point is, if you just sit him in that room for like a year, he gonna come out the room at the end after listening to all that music and watching all these programs on the television on the tube. He's gonna come out speaking differently. He's gonna come out looking differently. He's gonna have a little bit of a different perception when it comes to, you know, police or seeing someone on a street corner like, oh, he might be selling something, or he gonna be cussing more because he listens to, you know, gangster rap where they cussing all the time. He's gonna be thinking, oh, I can, if my job don't work out, shit, I can go get a bag and flip that bag and get another bag and flip that bag. His programming is now towards that. So what that really means is what you listen to and what you watch is what you become. If you watch nothing but 20-year-olds on YouTube getting drunk playing video games, you're gonna want to get drunk and play video games more. Think about that. You know, that's the other flip side of the coin. Like, say you're just all day you're watching these YouTubers on YouTube. They're playing video games. They're getting drunk. Bunch of early 20-year-olds living their life. You can go, you know what? Oh, it's like fun. Let me go get a drink. Let me play a video game. You're going to start wasting all your time playing video games and getting drunk. This is a literal scientific fact here, that this is how the human brain operates. I've known a lot of people that will fight against this theory. They will say, oh no, my mind's stronger than that. But yet they act like what they intake. Does that make sense? When I first started my journey of self-improvement, you know, I was drinking all the time, playing video games all the time, smoking all the time, going around doing a bunch of stupid stuff all the time. I was a waste of a human being. And what was I doing? I was listening to negative music all the time, right? I was listening to like hardcore heavy metal, which I love heavy metal, but a lot of it has very negative lyrics in it, very negative lyrics. So I was listening to that. Nowadays, I listen to less negative lyrics when it comes to metal, but I listen to a lot of that. A lot of hip hop with very negative lyrics. I was watching a lot of TV and movies that had very negative views on the world and didn't have the happy endings and stuff and weren't very wholesome. And I was watching a crap ton of YouTube that was mostly garbage content. You know, garbage content. People talking shit for a living, or people just chilling back, drinking, smoking, playing video games, or, you know, people doing stupid shit because it's funny, you know. And because of all that, I was doing all this. I was doing all that because I was intaking it all. I was in a very negative mindset because I was constantly intaking all this negativity, right? So when I realized this in November of 2023, I cut all of it out almost immediately. You know, I weighed myself down a little bit on some things, but I started just replacing stuff. replacing, I was driving to work or driving, 2 towns over to go do something because my little hometown had nothing to do. So 2 towns over to go do something. Instead of listening to music, I listened to a podcast about like healing or something educational. I would listen to audiobooks. One of my favorite ones I listened to during that time period was Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights. Great book, amazing. The audiobook's even better. But I was listening to stuff like that. Listening to handpan music, jazz music, music without lyrics, right? And then I slowly started mixing in more hip-hop and metal again, but stuff with good lyrics, positive lyrics, not lyrics about drugs and fucking bitches and, all that other stuff that rots the mind little by little. And we think, oh, it doesn't rot the mind. Yes, it does. So much. Now, I intake a little bit of it nowadays, a little bit more than I did back in, when I started my journey, because I successfully reprogrammed my mind through watching which inputs I allow into my mind. And then once you got these inputs down, you figure out, oh, these inputs are not good for me. Let me replace them with the good inputs. Now you got to start watching your outputs, right? What are you saying? What are you doing? What are you allowing the world to see you produce, right? So I was talking very negatively all the time. Self-talk and talking otherwise about other people and other things very negatively. And that was on its own a input, because it's coming output, reverberating back as an input, okay? And it happens in here with your thoughts too. So your output's got to be very positive as well. Not even just positive, just cut out the negativity. Don't talk bad about yourself. Switch the mindset from, oh, I'm not strong enough to do this, to I might be strong enough to do this. If not, how do I get strong enough? Instead of thinking, oh, I'm such a mess up. But like, I messed up a little bit. That's okay. I learned and I'm going to keep going. See the little switches back and forth. That's how you reprogram yourself. Besides just the inputs. So I reprogram with your outputs. I hate when my finger does that. I hate that. My hand was like shaking and stuff, I haven't eaten enough yet today. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The inputs and outputs are so important. When you're like driving or doing dishes, you're doing a task that honestly does not take the full amount of your brain. Driving should take all of your brain power, but it doesn't. Let's be honest. Most of us, we kind of space out when we drive. So if we use that time to reprogram ourselves with better inputs, listen to podcasts like Mel Robbins' podcast or Bedros Keuilian podcast or Mark Manson, all these different people that are producing great, wholesome, positive content that can not just reprogram you, but also teach you some things that you can use in your life. And then listen to audiobooks. There's so many great audiobooks out there that will teach you things and help reprogram your mind. We're trying to brainwash ourselves into a better person. We get these inputs in, then we start thinking about the outputs. Okay, let me think how the person I want to become is thinking. Okay, so that person's thinking, hey, I need to go hit the gym tomorrow morning. I don't want to hit the gym, but the person I want to become does. So let me think like he does and get my ass up at 5 a.m. and go to the fucking gym. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. Think how the person you want to become thinks. Cut out negative inputs and allow more positive inputs to come in. Now, I'm not saying never listen to, hip hop that has like negative connotations about it, like, Kanye or Lil Wayne or any of these people that rap a lot about drugs and how, they're fucking bitches and all this other stupid stuff, right? That stuff sounds great. It's humorful. It's entertaining. It's catchy. I like it. I listen to it. But for a while there, I had to cut all of it out to reprogram my mind. I had to cut all of it out. No more following reverse for a while there, because let's say Roddy Racky, he raps and sings about a lot of negative stuff with negative views, and it was a negative input. Now, do I still listen to him? Yes, of course. I love the following reverse, but I also allowed myself to get away from that for a while and allow better inputs. Right? Instead of playing video games all day, I would read a little bit of a book, go out on an adventure, right? Go do things in life. And while doing those things, I was allowing better inputs into my mind through like handpan music, jazz, right? Allowing these instead of like gangster rap or hardcore heavy metal or something along those terms. By allowing the other ones, the handpan, the jazz, and maybe some classical music here and there, I allow my brain to get a break from all that negative inputs. And then I start introducing the more positive inputs, like the podcast, the audio books. You can find very positive music out there too, right? I know several rappers, or I've listened to several rappers and other musicians that sing and rap about really positive things. You know, it's not all about, you know, drugs, you know, having sex with women you paid and women you don't pay, and, you know, doing crime, sticking one up on someone's back, that way you can pull off their little chain. It ain't all about that. And then people make music that's not about that. And that's the thing. You got to find the right music. You got to find the right inputs to reprogram your mind so you can become the better version of yourself. We're trying to become the 2.0 us people. The 2.0 us. 2.0 you. That's what we're trying to become. That's what we are wanting. So reprogram your mind. It's like whenever you see inside movies, they're brainwashing someone. They're brainwashing somebody. They got him strapped to a chair, eyes open. He's watching Nazi propaganda, and boom, the next scene he's a Nazi. It's kind of like that, but don't do it about Nazis. Do it about something more positive. You know, watch people like How to Beast. You know, that's very good, positive, good content. It's about working out and self-improvement and just living your life to the fullest. Watch stuff like that. Find YouTubers. There are so many YouTubers out there that make both positive and entertaining content. Right? You can be entertained with wholesome, good, positive stuff. All right? Like, a great example, How to Beast. You know, like his content is so entertaining and it's a good input. It's not negative. Right? I've heard him say some negative things before, but it's like 99% of what he says is all good, positive content, and that's what we need in our lives. So watch your inputs and then learn to watch your outputs. Stop talking bad about other people. Stop talking bad about yourself. Don't say, oh, my job. Oh, I hate my job. No, but like, you know what? This job's okay. Switch from bad to okay, and you will start seeing it as okay. That's simple. It really is. The brain works that way. And it's so funny that the brain works that way. We don't comprehend this until we put this into effect. You'll never comprehend this. You'll never understand this unless you actually see it with your own eyes, your own ears, your own mind. Because to be honest, you are the mind. You know, no, this isn't me. I'm up here. This is me in here. I'm the mind. And we don't realize that we can control that. We can control ourselves in that way by tricking our own selves, by reprogramming ourselves into a better person through better content, and then giving out better to the world around us. So watch your inputs, replace the negative inputs, really look at what you watch every day, what you listen to every day. Hell, look at what you read every day. And if it talks about negative things, has negative views, or just negative anyway, cut that shit out for a while and put in some positive ones in there. It's just handpan music. It sounds amazing. It's great for relaxing, great for meditation, great for just sipping tea on a Sunday morning. Yes, sir. It is good stuff. And I love jazz, you know, some great jazz, especially like Japanese jazz. Ooh, I love that stuff. And then, you know, YouTubers like How to Beast, Bedros Keuilian, Mel Robbins, and literally thousands of other YouTubers I've watched over the past 2 years that have good content. There's so much. And y'all have access to it right now. You have access to everything you need to reprogram yourself right here on YouTube. Right? You can literally listen to audiobooks on YouTube. You can do so much. And I do highly suggest you pick up some books and you start reading instead of picking up a controller to play video games. I do suggest you take a long drive every day or every other day and listen to a podcast. Not a podcast like, Fresh and Fit, where they're, talking about a bunch of really negative, stupid stuff and over red pilling and over, just, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to stop ranting now, because this video is already 15 minutes long, and I want to leave y'all on a very wrapped up note. Watch your inputs, replace those bad ones with good ones. Take a look at what you have. Find some good, put it in, good inputs. Then watch what you say to yourself, to the world. Watch your outputs, watch your inputs, ladies and gentlemen. Brainwash yourself into becoming the person that you want to become. And you'll be just fine if you do that. I promise you that. Yes, sir. All right, nice. It was fun talking to y'all today. I've enjoyed this little conversation. I hope y'all keep growing how you need to grow. And I'll catch you on the next video. Stay noble in that no bull lifestyle. Yes, sir.